Hello, welcome to Plant Forward and Powerful, an educational video by the Educated Choices program. Today we will learn about plant-forward diets and how they can benefit physical athletic performance. Throughout the video, all the sources used to create this presentation can be found in the top right corner if you'd like to continue learning afterward. Did you know many successful athletes thrive on a plant-forward diet? Many athletes and people in physically demanding professions are making the jump to include more plant-forward foods in their diets to boost their physical activities. So why are people looking to plants to fuel their powerful performances? Professional and recreational athletes, people with physically intense careers, and individuals who enjoy engaging in physical activities often seek out foods that can provide sustained energy and endurance, help them build stronger muscles and bones, prevent injury, and improve recovery. Today you'll hear from Olympic athletes, bodybuilders, and active individuals who consume a plant-forward diet to optimize their physical performance.
Hey, what's up everyone? My name's Korin Sutton and I am a pro bodybuilder. I am a plant-forward athlete and I've been a plant-forward athlete for over 11 years and counting.
Hi, I'm Dotsie Bausch. I'm an Olympic medalist in the sport of cycling, and I'm a plant-forward athlete.
Hello, my name is Giacomo Marchesi. I am a champion natural bodybuilder and powerlifter. I am a plant-forward athlete.
Hello, my name is Brian. I am a professional runner. I am a plant-forward athlete.
Hi, my name is Cayetano. I'm a movement-based athlete. I mainly practice parkour, acrobatics, and Ninja Warrior. And I'm also a plant-forward athlete.
Hello, my name is Ella Majors. I am a holistic health and fitness coach, bodybuilding champion, and Muay Thai practitioner. And I have been a plant-forward athlete for over 35 years.
Now, let's get into the science of why these professionals are fueling their bodies with plants. A plant-forward diet prioritizes fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts and seeds, herbs and spices, and minimizes animal products such as red meat, poultry, fish, eggs, and dairy products. Plants contain many powerful nutrients that allow athletes to maximize their physical activities, but how? We'll start by discussing macronutrients: protein, carbohydrates, and fats. Together, these three contribute to a well-balanced diet and can easily be found in plants. Let's start with a macronutrient that usually gets a lot of attention from athletes: protein.
I think protein is really important for athletes in general. I think keeping a higher than protein than normal people in your diet is really beneficial for athletes. And I actually haven't found it that difficult to get high amounts of protein in my meals. You know, as long as I'm conscious about my grocery shopping and I make sure I have high protein sources in my fridge to put with my meals, like tofu.
Proteins are made of amino acids, which are small molecules that are often referred to as the building blocks of life. Amino acids combine to form proteins, which are the basis of all living organisms. The human body is comprised of 20 amino acids, all of which can be found in plant foods. Consuming a balanced diet that includes a variety of plant protein sources has consistently been shown to provide sufficient amounts of all essential amino acids.
Protein is actually paramount when it comes to living this lifestyle. And you need something called amino acids. And you might hear that if you're consuming mostly an animal-based diet, you can get all the aminos you need because animal byproducts are a complete protein. But guess what? So is a plant-based lifestyle. And being a bodybuilder, I personally consume somewhere around 185 to 200 grams of protein per day. This is how I'm able to build some lean muscle mass.
The next macronutrient we will talk about is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the primary energy source for people. Therefore, they are crucial for athletes who typically expend large amounts of energy throughout their activities. Some endurance athletes have deliberately adopted a plant-forward diet to meet these nutritional needs. Diets built on a foundation of grains, beans, sweet potatoes, and other plants foster effective carbohydrate storage in the liver and muscles, meaning carbohydrates can be stored inside the body in the form of glycogen. If you use up the energy you need for day-to-day functions, The stored glycogen provides a backup source of energy if you eat a healthy amount of these foods regularly. Plant sources of carbohydrates include fruits, vegetables, legumes, and whole grains. Some examples you can incorporate into your diet include bananas, potatoes, rice, and lentils.
My favorite thing to have before I go out and exercise or do something that is really, really taxing on my body is to get in some oats or some fruit. Just make like a nice, big, healthy bowl, something that's going to give me a lot of energy and a lot of fuel to get out there and push and perform.
As much time that I actually spend in the gym, I can definitely feel the significant difference on a plant-based diet versus the animal-based diet, especially for someone at my age at 38 years old. I feel like I'm more powerful and I have more stamina training now versus when I was younger.
These foods also contain fiber, a specific type of carbohydrate, which leads to improved gut health and helps reduce the risk of diseases like type 2 diabetes and certain cancers. The dietary fiber content in plant foods can also help regulate digestion and metabolism. Studies indicate that plant-forward eaters have higher intakes of fiber than meat eaters. Nuts and legumes are examples of plant sources of protein that also contain a high percentage of fiber. The final macronutrient we need to consume for optimal health and performance is fat. Fats are crucial for athletes because they support vital bodily functions, including muscle contractions. When compared to animal protein, plant foods can improve overall health by supplying more healthy fats, fewer unhealthy fats, and no dietary cholesterol. According to the National Institute of General Medical Sciences, essential fatty acids store energy, insulate us, and protect our vital organs. These essential fatty acids act as messengers, helping proteins do their jobs. Humans regulate their energy by breaking down fats, storing them away, and moving them throughout the body. Healthy plant sources of fats include avocados, nuts, and seeds.
I am a greens and beans kind of girl. So that means I find that the combination of dark leafy greens like kale and spinach and arugula combined with beans, all kinds of beans like cannellini beans and chickpeas and lentils, black beans. I also like to throw in avocado into the mix. I find that that kind of combination really fuels my body effectively. It gives me tons of nutrients, complex carbohydrates, plant protein, and healthy fats. And that combination gives me this sustained energy that really helps maximize my performance and optimize my recovery.
Before we move on to micronutrients, let's review these important macronutrients. There are three main types of macronutrients: protein, carbohydrates, and fats. Proteins are made up of small building blocks called amino acids. Good sources of plant protein include legumes, soy products like tofu and tempeh, and seeds. These protein-rich foods help people on a plant-forward diet meet their daily protein requirements, helping build muscles and maintain their functioning. Carbohydrates are a primary source of energy and are found in whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and legumes such as oatmeal, bananas, potatoes, and chickpeas. Fats provide energy and support healthy functions of the body, including muscle contractions and the protection of our internal organs. Plant foods containing fats are avocados, nuts, seeds, and vegetable oils, such as olive and hemp oils.
Plants have all the protein you need. You get all your nutrients from plants too, and this helps you perform better and recover better. And the coolest thing of all, you can experiment on your own and you can have fun with your food.
Checkpoint. Let's take a break to review some of the main points we've covered so far. What are some examples of plant foods? Plant foods include fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts and seeds, herbs, and spices, and exclude all animal products, including red meat, poultry, fish, eggs, and dairy products. Time for another. What macronutrients can be found in plant foods? A. Carbohydrates. B. Fats. C, protein, or D, all of the above? That's right. The correct answer is D, all of the above. Plant foods are abundant in carbohydrates, fats, and protein. Let's do one more. True or false? You can get enough protein without eating animal products. It's true. Eating a variety of protein-rich plant foods can provide all the protein you need. In addition to macronutrients, micronutrients are also extremely important for good health, and many are especially vital for athleticism. Micronutrients are vitamins and minerals such as vitamins A and B, calcium, and iron. Vitamin A contributes to vision and growth. It also activates the immune system to protect against diseases and infections. Examples of plant sources of vitamin A include dark green leafy vegetables such as kale and orange, yellow, and red fruits and vegetables such as pumpkin, sweet potatoes, mangoes, and tomatoes. Another important vitamin is vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 is integral to various functions, including the breakdown of protein, carbohydrates, and fats, maintaining normal levels of vitamins and minerals, and supporting immune function and brain health. One function is exceptionally significant for athletes. When we engage in intense exercise, our metabolism sends extra energy to the areas of the body that are working the hardest, and vitamin B6 is essential for this process. Examples of sources of vitamin B6 include bananas, avocados, legumes, nuts, potatoes, and other starchy vegetables. Vitamin D is important for maintaining normal levels of calcium and phosphorus in the blood, calcifying bones, supporting immune functions, and reducing inflammation, all of which are crucial for athletic performance. Vitamin D can be obtained by consuming certain mushrooms, supplementation, and safe exposure to sunlight. Certain cereals and plant milks may also be fortified with vitamin D. Vitamin K promotes blood clotting and contributes to the maintenance of bone health. Vitamin K is stored in the body and used when required. It can be found in tomatoes, spinach, cabbage, and turnip greens.
Now, a specific time when I felt a plant-forward diet actually helped me achieve my physical performance goals is pretty much every day. So even when I started my journey, being a vegan for the first year of my time, I saw significant benefits. My skin started to clear up, I started having better stamina, my strength went up, and also continued to build some muscle mass. From there, that's when I decided to do bodybuilding.
Let's move on to minerals, starting with magnesium. Magnesium is essential for nerve and muscle functions. It helps to create protein in the body and is needed for calcium absorption and the regulation of a normal heartbeat. Magnesium is abundant in plants such as whole grains, legumes, and leafy greens, and it's easy to get enough from diet alone. Calcium is essential for bone health, regulating muscle contraction and heart rhythm, and normal blood clotting. Vitamin D works alongside calcium to build and maintain the strength of bones. Inadequate vitamin D and dietary calcium intake can increase the risk of low bone mineral density and stress fractures, which are common injuries in many sports. However, with a balanced plant-forward diet, it is possible to get enough calcium. Plant sources of calcium include fruits, soy products such as tofu and soy milk, leafy greens, beans, nuts, and some starchy vegetables. Finally, iron is an essential mineral that is especially important for athletes and active individuals, as it is required for transporting oxygen throughout the body through the bloodstream. Plant sources of iron include lentils, chickpeas, tofu, black beans, and pumpkin seeds. Vegetables also supply ample antioxidants, such as selenium and carotenoids, which assist in removing free radicals generated during exercise, helping to reduce the risk of some health conditions, such as cardiovascular disease and certain cancers. If you'd like to learn more about micronutrients, check out our short Micronutrient Rainbow. Let's review. Eating a well-balanced diet made up of a variety of whole plant foods is a great way for athletes to consume important micronutrients that are vital to a variety of bodily functions, such as breaking down carbs, protein, and fats, and supporting immune health, wound healing, brain health, and bone health. Checkpoint. When paired with vitamin D, blank is essential for building and maintaining bone strength. This mineral is also involved in muscle contraction and normal blood clotting. This micronutrient can be found in leafy greens, tofu, beans, and more. The answer is calcium. Sufficient levels of both calcium and vitamin D have been shown to be protective against bone fractures and important for all these normal body functions. Here's another one. Blank is essential for nerve functions and is needed for calcium absorption and muscle function. This mineral is abundant in plants such as whole grains, legumes, and leafy greens. A. Vitamin B6, B. Magnesium, C. Vitamin D, or D. Vitamin A. The answer is B. Magnesium. Magnesium is essential for brain, nerve, and muscle functions. You can get it through whole grains, such as brown rice, legumes, such as beans, and leafy greens, such as kale. Last question. Is this statement true or false? Vitamin D can only be obtained through exposure to sunlight. It's false. In addition to exposure to sunlight, healthy vitamin D levels can also be achieved through the consumption of certain plant-forward foods, such as mushrooms and fortified cereals, juices, and plant milks.
Since I switched to a plant-based diet, my athletics have increased exponentially. Mainly, I see the benefits in less inflammation, so I recover faster after hard workouts. Whether that be track workouts or long runs, I feel like I'm working harder now than I was before, but I'm able to do another hard effort or hard workout within a couple days.
Now, let's talk about physical performance and recovery on a plant-forward diet. Because athletes typically burn more calories than the average person, they also need to consume more calories than the average recommendation, which is about 2,000 calories per day, according to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Take a look at some of these average calorie expenditures of 30 minutes of activity for a 125, 155, and 185-pound person, and let's keep in mind that the number of calories burned per exercise can vary greatly from person to person and is highly dependent on age, height, weight, body composition, and other factors. Sitting and reading burns 34, 40, and 47 calories per half hour respectively, while ballet dancing burns 180, 216, and 252 calories. Hockey burns 240, 288, and 336 calories based on weight. Soccer burns 210, 252, and 294 calories. And competitive football burns 270, 324, and 378 calories respectively. This means that increased physical activity can cause us to burn a lot more calories. Fortunately, athletes can meet their full caloric requirements with plant foods while experiencing the many health benefits we've described. Examples of calorie-dense plant foods are granola, avocados, and nuts.
Eating plants improved really almost everything for me as an athlete. They improved my repair time in between workouts, also sped up my recovery time overnight. And plants, oh man, they greatly enhanced my output and my strength, to which I was actually pretty surprised by. When I was eating animals, I was leg pressing 300 pounds times 5 sets times 30 reps each. And by the time I switched over to plants, about 6 months before the Olympic Games, I was leg pressing 585 pounds times 6 sets times 60 reps.
Plant-forward eaters generally exhibit higher levels of oxygen in the bloodstream, which improves tissue oxygenation, the process that occurs when oxygen molecules enter our tissues. The increased delivery of oxygen into tissue improves blood flow, which is considered to be a performance advantage, especially for endurance athletes who expend significant amounts of oxygen during their activities. Just 2 hours after people ate a meal rich in animal products, their arteries suffered a drop in their ability to expand, therefore decreasing blood flow and tissue oxygenation. This is largely due to the saturated fat commonly found in meat, which has been shown to reduce the flow of blood through the arteries. Since plant foods are typically low in saturated fats, they can contribute to optimal blood flow and the subsequent delivery of oxygen and nutrients to organs and muscles to enhance physical performance.
My number one secret pre-workout is 16 ounces of beet juice right before I leave the house to train. One study showed that an increase in cycling endurance was up to 14% with beet juice as a pre-workout fuel.
In addition to improved performance, disease prevention, and improved health, there are many more health benefits associated with including a lot of plants on our plates. Studies have shown that people who consume plant-forward diets tend to have better cardiovascular outcomes compared to those consuming omnivorous diets. The European Journal of Applied Physiology states that the consumption of a plant-based diet is nutritionally adequate and potentially superior to a traditional omnivorous diet for reducing the risk of chronic diseases, such as cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, metabolic syndrome, hypertension, and certain cancers.
I can just tell that this diet has helped keep my ligaments and joints so healthy. On top of that, I can see my energy levels be naturally high without needing caffeine. My sleep has been definitely a lot better eating a plant-based diet.
I noticed that my recovery is a lot faster. I don't have a lot of ache and pains in my joints. My skin is a lot clearer. So these are some of the significant benefits that I've seen in my physical performance living this lifestyle.
Let's review. Increasing your consumption of plant foods may have many health benefits, including improved athletic performance, endurance, strength, and recovery. Plant-forward diets can also help with disease prevention and digestion. We looked at carbohydrates, the primary energy source obtained from the foods we eat, making carbohydrate-rich plant foods an excellent choice for athletes. We talked about protein and how it can be easily obtained from plants. We also discussed healthy fats and how they support essential bodily functions. Micronutrients, including various vitamins and minerals, are also important for maintaining a strong and healthy body and, fortunately, are plentiful in plant foods. Although athletes burn more calories than the average person, they can consume all of the calories they need on a plant-forward diet to fuel an active lifestyle. There are many different creative and delicious ways to eat more plants to fuel your performance. Here are a few examples of our athletes' favorite foods.
Favorite plant-based food or meal of all time? That's a tough one, because I love food. And there are so many foods and meals that I find extremely delicious. But if I had to choose, I'm gonna say it's a tie between chickpeas, which may sound a little boring, but they're not boring because they're so delicious and so versatile. You can do so many things with them. You can, eat them plain, you can roast them with spices, you can make hummus out of them. Possibilities are endless.
Even athletes need a little treat. So when I want a treat, my favorite sit down, pre-dinner, especially if I've had a really hard workout and I want some rich food, right? I want some rich, salty food. I absolutely love Miyoko's English Smokehouse cheddar cheese with jam and a fresh baguette.
In the winter, I love a great plant-based chili. I'll never say no to good old Taco Tuesday plant-based taco. And of course, in the summertime, you can never go wrong with some oat milk ice cream. Overall, maybe anything with a peanut sauce.
And the other is pineapple. Yeah, I'm gonna say pineapple, because there is just nothing tastier or more refreshing than a perfectly ripe pineapple. Yum.
And I cannot live without a chocolate hit at least once a day, maybe 2 times a day. Usually it's really, really dark chocolate, but sometimes I'll indulge in the nut butter filled chocolates, more of the sugary ones with chocolate chips or whatever, but there's some form of chocolate in my day every single day.
Now, some of my favorite foods is going to be the tofu scramble. Tofu is a complete protein itself. So that tofu, which is made out of soy, has all the amino acids you actually need. I use onions, mushrooms, spinach, and sometimes I replace the spinach with kale. And I'm able to get a lot of the vitamins and minerals, because a lot of your vitamins and minerals is going to come from your fruits and vegetables.
I encourage people to approach plant-based eating with a lot of curiosity and an adventurous spirit. So ask yourself, what plants do you already love to eat? And what plant foods are still out there waiting for you to discover them?
There's tons of plant-based athletes out there, and there's plenty of resources right at the tips of your fingers if you do a little bit of research.
All right, so if you're unsure where to start, just start. You could start really with one meal a day or one day a week. You don't have to be perfect.
Make sure you know your why. Get yourself in the community. Follow a lot of people that make good recipes on YouTube or Instagram to inspire you, because if the food doesn't taste good, you're not going to stick to it either. Switching to a plant-based lifestyle has been one of the best decisions of my entire life. So if you yourself are looking to make the change, I think it's definitely worth it.
From competing in team sports to excelling in physically demanding professions, incorporating more plant-forward foods into your diet can help to improve your health, energy levels, and physical performance. How will you incorporate plant foods into your diet to reach your goals? Wondering how to stay up to date on the world of plant power? Visit our Next Steps toolkit by scanning this QR code to find more resources and alternatives you can try today. Check out our website at ecprogram.org to view our full educational packages and video offerings. Sign up for our newsletter if you'd like to be the first to know when we have new content. Your feedback is important to us. To share your thoughts about this presentation, please fill out the brief survey linked here. Remember, you viewed Plant Forward and Powerful today. Thank you for watching.